What is up, guys? This is Dan from Black Rocket coming at you live from my bedroom once again to kick off the final daily esports open play session of this week. So every day, every weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be hosting gameplay sessions from our two esports app, which are Sembly and Battle Royale. Coming soon is going to be our third esports game, Rocket Kart Racers. We're encouraging anyone that's home and looking for something fun to do to come and play together at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. You can participate in or watch one of our streams, play with your friends in private matches, or choose random public play. And as long as other Rocketeers are online, you will get a match. Always remember that our policy is safe, fun, learn in that order. And to keep everyone as safe as possible, we do not feature any chat elements in the games themselves. And all of the interactions take place through competition and the emotes. So before we get started, I also wanted to mention that we have other online opportunities available at blackrocket.com/online, including a free virtual course sneak peeks, which take place on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Now we had one this Wednesday. It was really cool. We showed off our classes. A lot of people liked it. So make sure to tune in next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Now, those are also hosted on our YouTube channel, which if you should know our YouTube channel since you're here right now, that's going to be youtube.com/BRP clips. Now, today we're going to get started off with our game Sembly, which is playable right in a web browser, even on Chromebooks, anything, you name it, you could play it. So all you have to do is go to blackrocket.com/esports. Now, this is kind of the launch pad for both of our games, Sembly and Battle Royale. And in order to play Sembly, all you have to do is go to blackrocket.com/esports, locate Sembly, which is very easy. It's right there. And then you just click on Play Now. Now, this is going to load up Sembly. It does get that bar all the way to the end and then takes a little bit longer to load, so it didn't freeze. Don't worry. You just got to wait it out. And then you will be able to hop into a game. So we're just going to wait for that to load, and then we will get right on with the stream. Okay, so we are experiencing a little bit more latency as well. So we're going to be able to get right on in here. However, when you do want to join a match, it may take a little bit longer to hop in. That's embarrassing. And there we are. We are in. And I believe we also have a match that we can hop into right now. So let's get started. Spectate match. Our room code is going to be JVMB. Now, if you do want to hop in and either play the game, you could. There's one spot available. You could go to private match, type in the room code JVMB, see if you could get in. And if not, you could always vote on the events that go on. I believe this is going to be a gem race. So in gem race, you are able to vote on the different events that happen in the game. And here we have our gem race draft right here. So we're going to see what these players pick. Player 1 is a little bit behind right now. They haven't picked anything yet. Player 2 already knows what map, all the items that they want. So we're going to see what they go for. We see player 2 is picking those bats. Again, we saw on the previous live streams that the bats are one of the most dangerous items in this game. So both players did pick all of their items. We do see some cannons. Cannons have been pretty popular as of late in order to get around the maps. And Toxic Night is a map with a lot of blocks. And we do get Toxic Knight. So Toxic Knight is a map with a lot of blocks, so being able and a lot of spaces. So if you are able to use a cannon correctly, you could launch yourself very quickly to another gem. And on top of that, both players did go for the invisible blocks, but that looks to be the only similarity between these two drafts. Invisible blocks are always pretty popular to really troll everyone going on. Very frustrating to get through and navigate your way. Hello, player one. Player one sending a nice little message. Hello. So a lot. Player two hasn't really placed anything down yet. It looks like they're still gonna really look at the map and really try to figure out the best places to put their items down. While player one already almost maxed out. On Wednesday, we did see a lot of people. We did see a couple times people not really going heavy on the items and just really focusing on navigating their way through the map, which I believe did pay off for whoever did that strategy on Wednesday. So we're gonna see what they go for. Looks like player two is putting some more blocks down, so that's always good to see. And again, we do have um a lot of different game modes. There's normal, quick match, and then there's also the gem race. So this is gem race. It's the best of one. You put all your items down on the same map. It can get pretty hectic. And then normal is you play two different maps. You each build one map, and then you see who is able to get the gems fastest with both maps combined. So it does look like both players did decide to max out their blocks, with player two putting a lot of those falling blocks on the gems. So that could be a big delay. But we're going to see how each player uses their blocks to their advantage right here. So we're going to see where this first gem spawned in very, very close to the spawn. And is that looks like player one is going to be able to get that first. And then the next gem is going to be up on the top deck. Player two looks like they're getting pretty stuck in those spikes. That is a pretty good strategy, whoever did that, to put the pusher into the spikes. Now, something you could also do is use the hammer in order to break those spikes or break that pusher. I like to call it the pusher because it's like the vacuum in the pusher. But yeah, it looks like player one is going to be able to get that. Oh, it actually respawned, and now we do have a lights out, so that could be helpful for player two. Now, if player two is stuck down there, something you could do is press R for a tactical reset. That will take you back to the spawn. Now, player one does look like they are going to be wall jumping up and trying to get their second gem. Hopefully, they get it in time because they were a little bit late on the second one that spawned in. So this is the third gem that spawned in. They were able to get that second gem, and the third one spawned very, very close to them. Let's see. Let's see how our player two's doing. Is wall jumping up. Finally was able to get back up. So good for them. Now, they are pretty close. We do get our second event, which is going to be the Quake after the lights out. Now, they did fall down again, I believe. And if they do want to, they could press R to do the tactical reset back to the spawn. However, we're going to monitor player one's situation over here because they could be able to finish off the game if they're able to get that gem. They may not be able to because a lot of time did go by already, so it may respawn. We're going to find out, though. It did respawn in a closer area. It almost looked as though he got hit by that bat on purpose in order to get sent back to the spawn. Player two is right by that gem. I'm not sure if they see it, but they do need to wall jump in order to get there. However, they were not able to get there in time, and time ran out, and player one was able to put the icing on the cake and take the first match of the day. So we already have another match lined up for you guys. Now, this is going to be a normal match. So again, that's going to be the two maps, and then whoever gets there the quickest, whoever gets all the gems the quickest, is the one who takes victory here. So the room code for this is going to be HQKR. If you do want to play, you could go to private match, join, and then type in that room code HQKR. We're waiting on one more person to join. And if you don't get in, you could always vote by going to spectate, vote, and then typing in the room code HQKR. And you will be able to vote on the events. And since this is normal, you also get to vote on the last item, which is also pretty cool because you do have a bigger effect on the game. So right now we are just waiting for someone else to join this lobby. If you do want to play, you could always hop in by going to private match, join, and then room code HQKR. And again, this is going to take a little bit longer than it did on Wednesday and Monday because we are having a little bit of a internet issue with everything going on. You know, it gets a little crazy, but everything is working fine. So if you do want to join, just hop in there, and there will be no problems. Most likely, fingers crossed. So we did have our player two join. We're gonna find out how this draft goes. The draft is very interesting because each player is able to pick two. So instead of the gem race where you just get to pick all five that you want, you only get two. So could be pretty strategic here. We have the key block or the lock and key, where I believe you are able to put a key down as well that goes with that block. And then you have to get the key in order to unlock it. We do have the spring coming in, which is a very good. You could use that to maneuver, or you could also use it to kind of mess other people up. And then we also have the one-way block, so you can only go through that block one way. Tends to get people trapped sometimes, but it could also be used to your advantage if you're able to really notice the arrow and you're able to get through that quickly. So player one right now needs to pick an item. Looks like they're taking a little bit of time to think about it. They do pick the moving block. Again, it has a lot of uses. You could put items on it. You could use it to get across platforms. And we're going to see what our final item is, which was voted on. So we're going to find out what this is. And we do have the spikes, classic spikes. Spikes are always fun. People do like to go a little bit out of control with the spikes sometimes. So we're going to find out how these players like to build. Now, this map, I believe, is Sidewalk Hustle. And Sidewalk Hustle is a very, very long and wide map. I don't particularly like it in Gem Race. However, in normal mode, it is actually one of my favorite maps because you kind of just really go left to right. There's not really a lot of discrepancy in the gems that you need to go to. It's pretty self-explanatory. So when you play a map like this, both players, for the most part, are going to have a very similar approach, or at least be on even footing with which gems they need to get first. So it kind of makes it really interesting to see who's just faster. And then on top of that, who was able to use their items to their advantage. So this is player one's map right here. Or that was actually player two's map. This is player one's map right here. As you can see, they do have some hidden spikes. I'm not sure what those spikes are going to do up there by the cone. But these ones are pretty nice. Looks like they're focusing on the front first. However, they do have some springs to make it easier to get around. And again, hiding a lot of spikes. So spikes are always very annoying when they are hidden because they will send you all the way back. And on a map like this, where again, very wide, being sent back to the beginning could be a pretty big downfall. Now, player two really going in with these lock boxes right here. And now, something interesting in the normal game mode is that you can use the hammer, but you can only use it on the other player's map. Now, this makes it pretty interesting because if you make a gem incredibly, incredibly hard to get for you and the other person, sometimes the other person will be able to get it by breaking through. So you really do have to watch out for that. In Gem Race, that's not really too much of an issue, but in normal mode, it has gotten some people in a pretty sticky situation sometimes. So you do just want to watch out for that. Now, here we do have player two really going in with those lock boxes. And now player one, it seems I like this strategy right here with the one-way blocks because If you fall in here, you may have to tactical reset. That may be pretty tough to get out unless you are able to wall jump up. And again, the tactical reset button is R. The tactical reset key is going to be R. Now, player 1 not really going too heavy with the items so far. Player 2 has gone really heavy again with the lockboxes, really focusing on the lockboxes. I'm not even sure if that was their pick. I don't think it was. I believe that was player 1's pick. So maybe they're just trying to use player 1's strategy against them. But yeah, again, a lot of lockboxes being used. We are coming down to about 5 seconds, so our players are going to get in their finishing touches. Player 1 using very strategic lockboxes over here, while player 2 is really just piling them on. So we're going to see who's able to take the first map in this best of 2. So here we go. We have player 1 is going to be red, player 2 is going to be the gray. Player 2 took the high road approach right there. It did pay off for them. They were able to get the first gem and the second gem very, very quickly. Got a lot of points for that one. However, both players did get sent back by the spikes. So this is a very close match right now. Player 2 is in the lead because they did get the gems quicker. However, it looks like player 1 is right on his tail. We do have our first event in the game, which is going to be slow-mo. That does make it a little bit easier to maneuver around traps and such. Player 1 does have to watch out for the spikes over there. It looks like player 2 is also being careful. Both players were able to make it through. Player 1 and player 2 both able to successfully get by. Player 2, okay. Very, very quick finish on the end. However, if you did see, player 1 was able to get the 4th gem before player 2 got the final gem. So they were able to get some points on the board. If player 2 got that final gem before player 1 got their 4th, that could have been a pretty sticky situation. So player 1 is able to get through. They are able to break through. I'm not sure if they broke the lockbox or if they took a different approach and got the key somewhere. A lot of these gems are very spread out, so we're going to see what's going on over here. Player 2 looks like they took the farthest gems first, which is a pretty risky strategy because you do have to make your way all the way back to get that end gem. So we're going to see if player 2 is able to take this. It looks like they also have to head back in order to get one of the gems. I think they had to get a key over there. However, yep. So player 2 was able to get victory by that strategy. Did work out for them. They went all the way to the end because I guess they also saw that the keys were there. So they grabbed the gems that were at the end and the keys, went back to the beginning and grabbed the rest of the gems. So very smart strategy for them. We're going to head back into the main menu. We're going to look, see what we got, see if we have any more lobbies that we could hop into. So it looks like we do have a fast match game that we're able to hop right into. If you do want to join this, you just go to private match, join room, and it's going to be RPZT. And now, again, while we are waiting, if you guys do want to check out blackrocket.com/online, we have a lot of great content for you during this quarantine to keep you guys busy. Virtual open houses, those are free. Those are going to be on Wednesdays, 6:30. We have the play and compete together section. That's basically just going to be blackrocket.com/esports. You guys already know tons about that because we're doing it right now. And then we also have premium content, which is going to be online learning and live coaches. So that's going to be more like being taught, kind of like our summer classes. So that's pretty interesting. That will keep you guys very busy. And then we also have the self-guided VR. So if you did take the VR course, it's going to be a lot like that. It's very fun. You get a nice little VR kit with your phone, and you're able to make your own VR level. Teaching, coaching sessions, again, going to be premium content, just like the same, the online learning. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to keep you guys busy. We really want to focus on giving everyone something to do. But we do have another live match to get into. So this is gonna be a fast match. So fast match, it just gives you 5 random items, and you only get 30 seconds to build. So this is a blessing and a curse because if you don't know what you're doing, you could put a lot of items down and then kind of mess yourself up. But you could also build a lot faster than your opponent and get a big advantage that way. However, it does look like both players aren't putting too many items down. A lot of spikes put down by player 2 and 1, it looked like. So we're going to see who's able to take this. I believe all you have to do here is just get that 1 gem. So this is really just a big race to the finish line here. And player 1's at the very quick start. Player 2 a little bit slow right there. I think they try to hop on the spring. Or player 1 is able to. It looks like they're going to get all the way to the top to avoid all those traps that they set right there. Very smart strategy. It looks like it will pay off for them. They're going back and forth. They only have 5 seconds left. All they have to do is drop down, and they do go into the spike. So very, very, very unfortunate right there. They could just drop down. Looked like they got stuck on the wall. However, now here we go again. We did have the tie. So there's going to be a tiebreaker map right here. Again, I believe player 1 is in the gray. So both players falling victim to the spikes very early on, how a lot of games do end up. And now player 2, it looks like, is now taking their time, is able to wall jump. They only have a couple seconds to get that gem, and they do. So player 2 is able to pull out the victory on their own map right there. So that was very pleasant to see on a fast map, on fast match. So that's pretty awesome. So now I think we have a gem race lobby for you guys. So if you do want to hop into this gem race, you could go to private match, join room, and then type in the room code GDZW. Now, if you also want to vote on the events that happen, because it's a gem race, you don't vote on the item, you vote on the events, and there should be a lot of events. So if you do want to vote on the events, you go to spectate, vote, and then type in GDZW. So again, it is taking a little bit longer for everyone to join in, but everything is working very, very well. So that is awesome to see. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Since you guys are already on the YouTube channel, we have a lot of content on there already with a lot of different game tips. We got some game tips. We have some game reviews. We really go into a lot of detail about a lot of stuff up there. We have a lot of details about our classes. We have some videos about those. We have some projects of the week. So we have really good projects that different students made over the summer. So we do have a lot of content up there. We're trying to push some more out. So stay tuned for next week. I think we're going to have a lot more up there. I will be featured in some videos. So you guys will get to hear my beautiful voice for more than just 1 hour a day. So there you guys go. That's my gift to you. And again, next week, 4 p.m. Eastern, every day, every weekday, we're going to be doing this. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing, how we're going to kick it off. It's going to be Battle Royale or Assembly, but we will let you guys know. And it looks like someone did join our gem race, so we do have the draft phase going on right here. Sorry for hovering over the spring. We have player 1 picking Rat Maze, which is a pretty tough map in gem race, and both players picking Rat Maze, so there you go. Rat Maze does tend to lean one way or the other, so whoever gets the first gem could be in for a very clean sweep if the gem spawns somewhere near them. Now, player 1 getting the Thwomp block. I do like to call that the Thwomp from Mario, the Crusher. It's just a big rock. And then we have, it's a sticky block, so that makes it a little easier to get around, but it could also trap you in. Falling block, flamethrower, invisible. Both players are opting for the flamethrower, but it looks like, again, that's going to be the only thing that we have the same here. Which it's always very good to see a lot of diversity going on with the items that are picked because both players are able to build on the same map. So both players have the same item. You just see an insane amount of repetitive items, but they did pick different, so that's always good. Now it looks like player 2 right there, putting the one-way blocks at that top gem, and then putting the reverse one at the end to kind of trap in player 1 if they do get that. So in order to make those like a big maze blocks, and we are seeing it again at that bottom right gem right there. So that's going to be incredibly frustrating for player 2 to navigate through if they don't see that. The good thing about invisible blocks is they do show up for like a little bit and then they fade away. So you're just going to have to memorize that before you make your way through that very fun looking maze. Both players almost maxed out on their items, which is very awesome. As you can very hard to navigate through, a lot of twists and turns. So we're gonna find out who's able to taste victory in this gem race map. So let's find out what color our players are. It looks like player 2 is gonna be the dark purple, while player All right, so it actually looks like something happened with Google right there. However, we are back up. Google is very on top. So we are going to wait for one person to hop in. And then we will be able to get this going. So we're just waiting for one player to hop in again. If you do want to play, just go private match, join room, and then type in the room code, however someone did join. So if you want to now vote on the events or vote on that final item, you go to spectate, vote, and then type in AVEG. So our map is going to be Rat Maze. We are in the draft phase. Draft phase goes by pretty quickly when we do it normal because you only pick a couple things. It looks like we have the falling block, the lock and key, the switch block. Then pick one, and then we also have a random item that you guys are able to vote on. So looks like we have the invisible block, and now we're going to find out what our random item is very momentarily. And it looks like we do get. Hope it's not the spikes again, but maybe it's spikes. Oh, it looks like we do get the vacuum. So the vacuum eats you up, sends you back to the beginning. While this one, let's look up the official. That's the fan. So I always call it the pusher, but it is the fan. Makes a lot of sense. That one doesn't send you back to the beginning, but it could be equally as annoying. Does look like again we are in Rat Maze. Now, Rat Maze in normal mode is pretty interesting because you already know where the gems are going to be, so you have to make a game plan on how to make it through this pretty complicated maze. So now, if I was playing, there's a lot of different strategies that you could do. I would probably go down, get that first gem in the blue, head on over, get the one in the green, and then you got to go up, and you're going to have to end up going all the way around the map at one point in time, regardless of anything. Because even if you go up and get those upper gems, you're still going to have to go down past the end gem in order to get those last two. However, you could. I haven't tested this strategy, but at some point you may be able to use the tactical reset by pressing R. Grab two gems, head back to the beginning, grab the other two gems, head back to the beginning, and then get the last one, or just grab the last one on the way. That's also a pretty viable strategy. We're going to see if anyone does pull that off. Currently looking at two's map blocks. Player one also going for a lot of lock blocks, as well as some falling blocks and some switch blocks. They also have some invisible blocks. Those find out. Whose map this isn't is also able to use the hammer in order to get past that if they want to. Oh, so player 2 is able to take that. They have all their gems. They're going to get the last one. However, it may have taken too long. They will be able to get this. But player 1 is still able to get victory because they wrapped their map up a lot quicker than player 2 wrapped theirs up. So they got a little bit of a point bonus going in right there. So that is actually going to be our last match for the day and for the week. But again, I have to say this. Please go to blackrocket.com/online. You will get a lot of content right there for the weekend. You'll be able to play Sembly or Battle Royale with your friends if you want over the weekend, or if anyone else is playing. And we also have, again, a lot of classes, which is the premium content. So if you do want something to do, you can sign up for those and get a lot of content to do when you're not doing anything. And again, we have the virtual open houses that do take place on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe next week we are going to be doing YouTube and eSports. So we're going to have two classes focused on content creation. So if you are interested in content creation, that's going to be next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Now, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure if you did like the stream to drop a like. And also, since you are already on our channel, be sure to subscribe because we're going to be putting out a lot of content during this quarantine up on our YouTube channel. And we're also going to be going live basically every day during the week. So if you do want to keep up with that, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get all of that. Now, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I will see you guys next week. Hope everyone has a great day and a great weekend. Peace.